In this video, we're talking about an exercise called Hero's Pose. Now, a lot of people know Hero's Pose from yoga, and it's a great way to stretch out your quadriceps, stretch out your feet into full plantar flexion. That's your feet going away from your knee, not your feet curling up towards your toes. We're extending and pointing our toes essentially. And it's also a great way to stack the load-bearing joints in the hips and upper body. Another great thing about this exercise is you don't need any special equipment to do it. As long as you can get down on your knees and bend back into that position, you can do Hero's Pose. But if you have trouble doing the full Hero's Pose, you can also use a cushion to modify it. So there's one little caveat about that no equipment, but that's only if you can't do the exercise as it is normally supposed to be done. As a bonus, I'll be showing you one little modification that I like to do that can also increase the range of motion in your shoulders and feel really good in the neck and the shoulders, the lower back, and we'll get into that as well. Now, the instructions for Hero's Pose are pretty darn simple. In fact, I'm already in the pose right now. But let me go ahead and turn to the side so you can see just a few of the finer points that you want to make sure you're abiding by when you're doing this exercise. So, as you can see, a good way to start this exercise would be in the hands and knees position, kind of like you would be for cats and dogs. And especially if you're having any type of pain, you want to work yourself back slowly. If you get to any point of pain or restriction, stop immediately. In that case, it'll be time to use a pillow. I'll get into how to use a pillow in just a moment, but first let's talk about what the upper body is going to do. Now, I don't want to be in a slouched position like this. See here, my shoulders are forward, my head is forward, my lower back is rounded. We want to make sure that we're in a fully upright position. We have that arch in our lower back here. My shoulders are directly above my hips. My ears are directly above my shoulder. If your head is a little bit forward, don't worry about that too much. It will come back over time. Just be conscious of the fact that it is forward and know that that's going to be a goal for your personal therapy. Now, you also notice my feet are in what we call plantar flexion, or they're pointed out. I don't want to see your feet like this. That's going to eliminate what we're trying to do here, the purpose of what we're trying to do. So it really is just right here. And you can let your hands rest on your thighs if letting them hang is uncomfortable. Now, if you're having trouble getting into this pose, you can start by putting any kind of pillow or cushion on your knees here when you're in the cats and dogs position, or the hands and knees position, and you work yourself back onto it. If that's too thin, you use another pillow, or you can double it up like this. I can put it behind here and go back onto that doubled up pillow. Big thing is we want to be symmetrical between two sides. I don't want one hip higher than the other, forcing all kinds of wonky things like this. Just want to make sure it's symmetrical, and you can keep on building that up until you're in a comfortable position. Of course, even in those positions, you want to make sure that you're maintaining that lower back. Now, I did promise that we'd have one modification, my favorite modification of this exercise, which would be called Hero's Pose with overhead extension rather. So to do overhead extension, I'm going to interlace my fingers, stick them out in front of me with the palms facing out, and I'm going to look up while I bring those hands up above my head, making sure that I'm looking up. Oh, it's okay, Quinn. Looking up, just like this. We're not trying to look ahead here. We're really trying to bring the whole spine into extension. So this really accentuates the curve of my lower back, brings the thoracic spine into full extension, and then bring the cervical spine into full extension by looking up. And we're locking out the elbows and holding this position And when you're coming out of it, we just do the exact opposite. We look down, always kind of looking at the back of the hands, no matter where we are, looking at the back of the hands. So the head and the arms move in conjunction. So we just hold it up there. When we're done, we come out. Oh, I didn't realize Kuma's still here. Come on, baby. So that right there is Hero's Pose, and with the modification, Hero's Pose overhead extension. I hope you learned a lot from this video, and if you liked it, please consider hitting that subscribe button and hit the bell. You'll be notified when new videos like this come out.